The chapter starts with IMU pinning Luffy to the tree with one sword, and Luffy is spitting blood from his mouth, a lot of it. It looks similar to when Kaido knocked him out for the first time. As soon as Luffy got knocked out and started bleeding heavily, Usopp sensed him and Nami asked what was going on. Usopp said, "Is Luffy alright?" while looking toward where Luffy was. Nami got angry, telling him not to ask such a scary question. She insisted Luffy was fine for sure, but Jinbei replied that the person over there had already defeated that giant too, so they shouldn't take things lightly. While panting, Loki spoke to Jinbei, trying to tell him something about Luffy, but he could barely speak because he was badly wounded himself. Jinbei stated without a doubt that Luffy's haki had become very weak. Brook and Frankie are where Gunkko is. She is frozen in ice, and Brook has no idea about Luffy's situation, even though Jinbei, Usopp, and Nami are all talking about him. He's completely focused on Gunkko, while Usopp has a bean pointed at her, and Ragnar is making strange sounds. Gerd and the others arrive on the ship in a dramatic entrance, crashing directly into the already wounded Loki. Chopper immediately uses guard point to make sure Gerd is okay, while Hadruddin is left in terrible shape. Gerd is extremely worried about Loki and checks his condition. She says his injuries are critical and asks what brought him there. Hadruddin replies that Loki's wounds are even worse. Then Hadruddin remembers his conversation with Elder Jarl about going to where Luffy is fighting. Jarl says that saving the children is only a temporary solution and wonders if controlling Elbapha was a decision agreed upon at the reverie. He immediately answers that it obviously was not, which is why that man is here. That man is IMU. We then see Luffy being stabbed again by another sword that IMU creates from fire behind him. IMU says he has pierced Luffy with a sword that steals life energy, leaving him unable to move. He wonders how many more stabs it will take to kill Luffy and calls the name Monkey D. Luffy disgusting. IMU talks about each brother carrying a different family name, saying that one of them was killed by the Marines, while another joined the Revolutionary Army to spread his fame. Loki is shown thinking it must be that time. Luffy is unable to say anything while IMU insults his brothers. Loki declares that he will avenge his father and his men. He says IMU is the one red-haired Shanks spoke about. We then see a flashback featuring Shanks, Gaban, Jarl, and Loki. Shanks tells Loki that he understands his feelings but urges him to be patient. Loki angrily asks if Shanks expects him not to avenge his father. Shanks replies that he is not underestimating him. Harold was his friend too, and he also wants revenge. Then Shanks delivers one of the coldest lines in the series. Think carefully. The world government seeks to control the rest, and that is not its ultimate goal, merely a means to prepare for war. Loki says he doesn't care what the world government wants. He only wants revenge for his father and the innocent soldiers who became victims of what happened. Shanks asks Loki who his true enemy is and who he will choose to fight. Loki answers, the world government. Shanks then reveals that the one controlling and manipulating everything is the king of the world. Jarl is shocked, pointing out that world politics forbids the existence of a king. Shanks thinks to himself that it is understandable they're not going to believe him. Loki simply says he will kill him. Shanks warns that the king's power is beyond anyone has ever witnessed. He says his own journey to the Holy Land only left him more confused about the true purpose of that power. Shanks continues, if his defeat were possible, someone would have defeated him before you. Shanks says now is not the time to fight him. Loki walks away, declaring that he will crush him wherever he is. He explains that he left the country out of respect, but never managed to reach the king of the world. Now this is the perfect opportunity to eliminate him. Gerd calls the idea ridiculous, while Hadruddin says he wants to help Loki because he also seeks revenge for his father's murder. Jinbei is left in shock, wondering what role the Gorosei even have if there is a king of the world. Ragnar stops Brook from waking Gunkko, which frustrates Brook. Chopper translates what Ragnar is saying. He froze Gunkko because she is dangerous. Brook shouts, "What? You froze her?" Brook says, "I know she is dangerous, but someone was manipulating her." We get a small panel showing Robin and Saul before the scene returns to IMU. Imu takes out an axe to kill Luffy. While insulting Luffy and calling him disgusting, Imu says the weapon is not just meant for stabbing, making it clear he intends to chop Luffy to pieces. We then see Zoro fighting Summers and Sanji fighting Killingham. There's a long exchange of dialogue, but the key point is that both Zoro and Sanji are being overpowered by the Holy Knights because of the boost Imu has given them. As Killingham and Summers explain the origins of their family weapons, Zoro and Sanji simply watch. Imu declares that Luffy will be killed by one of the weapons that founded the world. Just as Imu is about to strike Luffy, Gaban arrives. The end. No next chapter next week.